Hey everyone, I'm sorry I forgot to record this video. I've been meaning to get to this video recording for a while now. So I'm going to do this recording right now. Um, I would have to say this is somewhat for the 144s. I mean, this was basically a 144 dream for me. Um, so yeah, let me start off with, I was at this restaurant, right? I start off with this being in this restaurant, and I went to this Chinese restaurant and I went to go get some food and stuff like that, right? So I paid for my food. I went to the front desk. I paid for my food, and then the Chinese guy asked me, he said, "Oh, and by the way, can you do me a favor?" And I said, "Yeah, what is it?" And he said, "Can you wash the dishes back there?" And I was like, uh, I guess, yeah, yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." So as I'm almost done with all the last dishes, then he came up to me again and said, "Oh, and by the way, can you do me one more favor?" I was like, okay, okay. And then he said, "Could you also sweep up the floor?" And I was like, he ain't got no shame. Not only does he want me to wash his dishes, he wants me to sweep the floor too. I was like, okay, fine, fine, okay, yeah, it's cool, it's fine, it's fine. And I'm like, I just paid this guy. Maybe he's gonna give me a discount or something. No. Mm-mm. So when I was done sweeping up, cleaning up, I noticed, okay, from far away, yeah, I had like super hearing powers. I can hear things like perfectly clear. I can see things from miles away. So my X-ray vision, hearing in my eyes, I looked all the way like five minutes away. Like it was a good 5 minutes away. That's how far distance it was. And I looked and I saw chaos because I could hear it. I heard chaos, like explosion, like exploding and stuff like that. And then I noticed, oh snap, it was the super soldiers. Yeah, in the future we're gonna have super soldiers, you guys. These super soldiers, they were regular human beings, regular people, but they were like, you know, throwing bombs and destroying people's property and stuff like that. And they were coming straight at us. So I told the Chinese guy, and I was like, "Oh, we gotta go. I told him, take your family. We gotta go. And he was like, "Why? Danger's coming. Let's go. We gotta go." And then I took him, and when I noticed his son that was next to him, he was also a 144, and I had to protect him. So I told him, "Let's go. I'll take you guys somewhere safe." And then all of a sudden, the scenery of the dream changed, and I was somewhere outside with my friend Karina. So she was standing in front of me. She was wearing all this white. She was in all white, right? This nice, beautiful white robe-looking dress, and she had this like this golden crown around her forehead, like right here, like a golden crown around her forehead. And she was like, "Oh, it's Tanya. By the way, I found my partner." And I was like, "Who's your partner?" She was like, "This is so and so is my partner. Can you go get him?" So I went to go get him. I flew. Oh, I know. This is where it gets crazy. I flew. I had wings. I had these big old white wings. They came out of nowhere. And I started flying. And I flew all the way where my friend was. And it was a good distance. But I got there in no less than 5 minutes. It would take a good... I mean, it would take like a good 9-10 hours in a plane, maybe. But I got there in 5 minutes in my wings. I had these big old wings, and I flew there. When I landed, my friend was like, he was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm here to pick you up and take you to your partner." And he was like, "My partner? You found my partner?" I was like, "Yeah, I found your partner." I was like, "Let's go. I'm here to take you to your partner." And he was like, "Who's my partner?" I was like, "My friend Karina, she's your partner." And he was like, No, she's not my partner." I was like, "Yes, she is." He was like, "No, yes, no." I was like, "Yes." So I'm going back and forth fighting with this person, trying to get him over there. I even tried to use my mind control on him. Nothing. I couldn't get him to go. So I took off. I went back to my friend. She was like, "Okay, so where is he?" And I was like, well, he didn't want to come. And she was like, what you mean he ain't want to come? I was like, well, he said you weren't his partner and he didn't want to come. So I tried to go, but he wouldn't come. She was like, nah, you got to go back and get him. I was like, what? No, I'm not going to go back and get him. You go and get him. You go deal with what he was doing with, no, I'm not going back over there. So after that, I went, after that, I took off. I told I'll be back, I'll be back. I'll go get more people. So I took off. When I took off in these big old wings. I had wings, you guys. Oh my goodness. But that's how I saw myself. I finally saw these wings that I was talking about back in my other dream. But yeah, I had some wings and I was flying, and I went back to the people that I was protecting, the Asian people and stuff like that. I went back to them and I told them that I had to leave. We had to leave this place because it was not safe to be here anymore. So I'm going to take you guys to a safe place. And it was a bunch of people because I kept picking up people from buildings, like flying from tall buildings here and there. I was all over the place, you guys. And it was like, wow, okay. And then, finally, my friend Karina and I don't know why, but we had this bag of money out of nowhere. Like, it was this brown leather stack of money. It was a lot of money in there. Woo, I would say a good $100 and something thousand. It was a lot of money in there. And I guess we needed that bag of money or whatever. I don't know for what, but I guess I'll explain to you guys why I needed that bag of money. So I got all these people I was saving and rescuing from all over the place. I mean, it was all over the place and everything. And when I finally got there and everything, got everybody gathered together, I said, I'm going to take you all to this safe place. I was like authoritative, like, you guys, I'm going to take you all to this safe place. And Karina's all nice and sweet, trying to calm everybody down and like, everybody, we're gonna go. She's all nice and sweet, and I'm all aggressive and authoritative. I've never seen this side of me, but that's how I was. And I'm like trying to get everybody into this plane. So all of a sudden we got this old beat down, dilapidated plane. I'm hoping and praying that this plane will get us to where we need to go. So when we got to this place, as we was going down from the plane, like we already was flying down and everything. And as we was going down, believe it or not, I had somebody flying us. The pilot of the plane was flying us. He had no choice because I was quite controlling him, telling him to do this, help us and all that stuff. So when we got to this place, I can see far down that the guy that was protecting this place, he had this big old gate blocking this place. You could not go in but through him. Like, you had to go through him. So I can see him down there, literally, with my X-ray vision eyes. I can just see him down there, ready to just send like a rocket towards us. And I had to talk to him telekinetically, like telepathically. I had to talk to him, and I had to tell him, slow down. Everybody in this plane is safe. We're okay. And when we finally landed, he didn't blow us up on the air. When we finally landed, I got out of the plane and I was talking to him. He was holding this big old gun, like this huge big gun that can just harm us. He was holding this gun, and then I was like trying to hurry up and get everybody in because I didn't want nobody to see us. So finally, he was like, I was telling him before he can say anything. I was like, everybody here is safe. There's no disease. Another thing, there was like a disease that broke out, and like there were places where you can go that people didn't have any disease because there was a bad plague going on. So I told him, everybody's safe. Everybody here is safe. So when I told him that, he was fine. He put his gun down, and he was sitting inside this old school red convertible car, like old school. It was really nice, but he finally moved his car, and these other guys were coming in. Like, yo, I mean, these guys were huge. I mean, the place I took these people to was a place full of 144,000 people. Like, it was a lot of them in there. A good 200 people in there, like a good amount of 200, 300 people. But it was a lot of them in there. And when I say the two guys that were walking towards me, when I say these guys were humongous, I mean like Incredible Hulk looking type of guy looking, like huge, big guys, tall, big. And I'm looking like, dang, they're big. Like you don't want to mess with these guys. Like, forget about it. Like, forget about it. I was like, okay. But it was quite tense too because they were very handsome looking. But let's not get all into that. So so when I went in there, outside looked it all run down, dilapidated. But when I went into this place, it was like it was in a 5-star hotel. It was really, really nice. And I'm looking like, okay, from the outside to the inside, you're like, okay, wow, like nice. So I'm going in, and it was like a check-in point. Like, you going into a check-in point and everything. And I'm looking like, okay, I see these 4 girls, between 3 to 4 girls. They were, oh my God, these girls was like the most beautifulest women I've ever seen in my entire life, ever. Seriously, they were so gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. And they was walking, and they were all walking like, talking to each other, like, oh my God, you're beautiful. No, like, you're beautiful. And then the other was like, no, you're beautiful. And then all of a sudden, I saw them walk right past me. All they did was walk right past me. And when they walked right past me, they became this hideous, horrible, awful looking thing. And I'm looking like, oh my God, did I just do that? And then they looked at each other. They was like, oh, what happened to us? Oh my God, we're not beautiful anymore. We're ugly. We're hideous. And then they ran. They was like, we're going back to our room. We're never coming out. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I do that? And I'm realizing I'm having all these powers. I have no control over them. I didn't realize I could do that to them. I don't know if I brought up what was in their inside out from the outside, because they were not very, I guess, good looking on the inside. So so as I was looking at them, and I looked at them through the mirror, and I was standing before them, next to them with the mirror. I looked in the mirror. I somehow didn't look the same. I looked different. I was like, whoa, what happened to me? Oh, wow. Like, I was looking at myself. I was like, whoa, this is not me. I didn't look like, what happened to my face? Like, I looked totally different. And I didn't even realize how tall I was. I was like a good 6 foot high. I didn't even realize how tall I was. I was like, wow. I literally saw everything through that mirror. I was like, wow. I was like, whoa. Like, wow. I couldn't believe the way I look. I mean, wow. That's all I can say is wow. So I called Karina from out there, and I told her, oh, everything is safe. We can all come in. I was telling everybody to come in. So I was like, everybody come in. It's safe here. We all can go in there. So when we got in there, when I went in there, whew, everybody that was in that place, I mean, everybody. I mean, can you say, like, you were in a place full of drop dead gorgeous people? Everybody was a 10. There were nothing but perfect people there. Everybody looked perfectly, like perfect 10s. Like, there was no 6, 7. No, everybody was like perfect 10. 100% perfect. Their body, their face, their shape, everything was just perfect. I couldn't believe how perfect these people were. And I'm looking around and walking around, and I mean, these guys were, the guys there, oh my gosh. So, sorry about that. Sorry. So, the guys there were so big. Oh my goodness. Like, the shortest guy I saw there, there was a couple of them that height. They were like 7 foot high. That was the shortest guy I saw there. The guys were like you can find guys all the way up to like 15, 12 foot high. That's how tall they were. They were tall. They were like, they all looked like they were on steroids, like perfectly shaped. Like, my goodness, like, they were huge. And these were all 144,000. All of them. They were all 144,000. I just knew all that. And all the women, they were just gorgeous. So I'm like, wow, men and women. Men and women. There were men and women. I'm like, wow, these people were just, all colors, all nationalities, all race. They were perfect. These people were perfect. And they did not look like the rest of the human beings. They did not look like the rest. Like if you put, you can tell who was 144 and who was not 144. These people look different. They had a special look to them. They don't look like us. I cannot explain it, but they don't look like us. They look different. They look different. And all of a sudden, from far away, I see my daughter, and somebody was holding my daughter, and I was like, what is my daughter doing now? Valentina, what are you? And I'm looking at this guy like, who are you? Why do you have my? First, I looked at him like, who are you, and why do you have my daughter? And he was like, you don't recognize me? You don't recognize me? I was like, no, I do not recognize you. When I looked at him, he was very, 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 I mean, it was like looking into one of the most beautifulest person I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, wow. So I was just looking at him like, wow, 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 wow. And then when I grabbed my daughter, I hugged this person, and then I woke up. And I was like, wow, what kind of dream was this? So believe it or not, I needed confirmation from the Lord about this dream, what I was dreaming and everything. You would not believe who was dreaming next to me and having dreams that I was going around fighting demons and attacking and flying. My husband said that same night I was having this dream, he said, oh my goodness, I can't believe you just said that. I was just dreaming that you were this big warrior woman, and you had wings in your back, and you were flying. You came out of this castle and you were just flying out of nowhere. And I was like, ah, you saw me in a dream flying? He was like, yes. And you guys, don't mind me, but my husband is like very skeptic and all that stuff. Everything I tell him, if I talk to him about God, he don't really want to hear about it. And, he's just not into it or anything like that. So for him to come out and tell me he saw me with these great powers, and he saw me flying, and he couldn't believe his eyes. He couldn't believe how strong and amazing I was. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. That was beyond confirmation for me. That was straight up confirmation for me. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys. You guys can take it to the Lord, whatever. But this is for the 144,000. This is for you guys. I know you guys are having some crazy dreams, like dreams that don't make no sense. But trust me, a lot of us are having them. The Lord is awakening us. We are all being awakened right now. So get ready. It's going to be a crazy ride. I can't wait to see all of you guys, because woo, you guys look good. But anyways, I love you guys. God bless y'all. You have a blessed and amazing day. God bless you guys. Love y'all. Bye.